Hi guys, I'm back. My toes say hello. So yeah, I mean, he is coming, okay? And if you don't jump into faith, you're not pleasing him. Without faith, it's impossible to please him. If you're not displaying faith in some area of your life, whether it be in the date's head, whether it be whatever you're believing for, whatever you're just believing that he's real and talking to somebody that's in the room that's not there, that you believe is there, that's going to talk back to you. I mean, that takes faith. That's what pleases God. If you're not being challenged in your faith, you're not experiencing deep intimacy. Okay, I'm not trying to put you down, but you're in a safe zone. But when you're stepping out and stuff, you will understand what I'm talking about. And I encourage you, step out then. If you're in a stale place, step out in faith. And God has to, in a place where he has to meet you. And then you'll understand the things I'm talking about, okay? Because a lot of people skate by because they're not really seeking him. They're sort of, but they're mostly just living through others. But when you are, believe me, you appreciate every little thing he tells you. You appreciate a little fortune cookie thing that he put on the floor and said, pick it up. You appreciate little weird signs he shows you when you're driving down the road. You know, when you're a rapture-centric retard, you catch it all. And that's a compliment. Being a jackass is a compliment. And up until we go, jackasses are going to continue to be raised up by the Lord God Almighty of heaven and earth. And at the marriage supper of the Lamb, I'm sitting at the jackass table with the finest date setters in the land. And they come of in all ages. And God has a great sense of humor. And we have great reward for what we're continuing to believe and labor in for his appearing. And even talking right now, I mean, I was like, God, I should do this. Because then this, and then the week's going to come, and then I'm not going to be prepared, and I only have, today's already almost over, and then I only have tomorrow. And he was like, can you go talk to my bride? I know, he said, I'm sabotaging you again. I know you like to get all organized, and I'm happy to do it, I'm happy to share my walk with you, and I love it when you guys share your walk as well, and share the things as God leads you. It's very encouraging, honestly, when people tell me their raw stuff. I love it. I love hearing the things like you were behind a car and this is what the license plate was, and you knew it was God pointing it out, or a song came on, or you had this sudden burst of feeling the Lord at this certain time. And these things mean more to me than anything, because that means you're in a living, real walk with God, and I love it when he talks. And still my most precious memory of the Lord on this earth ever, still to this day, was when I was 16. What he did to my son was amazing and precious, and I feel so blessed for it. But it was happening to him. It didn't happen to me, it happened to him. But what happened to me when I was 16, when I was going to commit suicide in my bedroom, and the Lord showed up and had me not do it, that to me is the most precious thing that I have. Like, no one can take that from me. And no one can tell me God's not real, because I met him. He came to my room. He didn't walk in there. I didn't see him face to face, but I felt him, and he touched my heart, and he melted it and took all the hate, all the pain, all the abuse, and healed my heart, and I was able to love. And it was amazing, and I was a changed person. And one of my son's friends that he loves very much. This child is his age, but he's been through a lot. He met him at the church youth group, and he's like, Mom, I really feel drawn to this kid. I know he doesn't have the best background and stuff, but I feel like I'm supposed to be his friend. And I'm like, okay. And I love the kid. He's real sweet and stuff like that, but he has some major problems, and it turns out he's going to go to a boys' home. His family sending him for boys that need help, because he had a really tough upbringing. Okay, what happened to him was just wrong. He's told my son and I about it. He's very open to talk. He's a neat kid. But I only bring that up to say that when you have a need for God and he meets it in your life, it's amazing. And I told this kid in the car, and I was telling him about when I grew up, because this kid already did try to commit suicide when he was 11. he's only a precious almost 13. And he's seen way too much. I don't even want to begin to tell you what he's seen. I just broke my heart in the car. And my son, it really made him feel bad too. He was like, Mom, no one should see all that. I'm like, I know. And we're going to miss him because he's not probably leaving if we're here in September. But anyway, why I bring this up is it's not until you really need him and you experience him that you get him. Because, we can get lazy. But I need him. I needed him at 16, and he met me in such a strong and powerful way. And he talks to me now. We have a great friendship, don't get me wrong, but that is my most precious memory. Those days were like honey. They were fabulous. He talked to me all day long. He talked to me out loud. I could hear it, an out loud voice. I can't wait to meet him. I can't wait to get out of here because I've been wanting to meet him since I was 16, like to get out of here and go. And I haven't wanted to be here since I was 16, but I wasn't rapture-centric till 2012 because there's no way I could have lived like that. I wouldn't have ever, done anything with my life. And not that if you're not right now, it's okay. Whatever he has you doing is fine, okay? I know people he's called to just sit and wait and do nothing, and he had me do that for 2 years. I would love to just do nothing till he gets here. I'm so tired of doing, even doing the things I like. It's just still laborious on this planet poo-poo. Anyway, I brought all that up to say that if you have a strong need and God meets you in a precious way, it's powerful. This intimacy thing, I just can't emphasize strong enough. Let's say you don't have any real issues that are pressing, but you just want to know him. And so, then that can be it. It doesn't have to be like you're on the verge of suicide like I had to go through. You don't have to have that. I don't want you to have that. That's horrible. But beauty came of it. You can, right where you're at, say, I want to know you. And I do this every day. I haven't arrived. I have not arrived. Every day, if I don't hear or have fellowship or get to know more, it's a boring day. We're constantly moving forward. We're constantly growing in him, and I really have a desire for people on here and in the world to know this great creator that wants to get all up in your business if you'll just let him. You think that, a lot of preaching has gone out that's been really horrible that says, God gave you a choice. You don't have to have him pick the color of socks you wear. When I was very young, I heard that, but before I heard that, I literally was like that in everything. Because I met him in my bedroom, and it hurt my heart. I was thinking, oh, maybe I'm involving God in too much. And for years, I kind of quit because of bad preaching I heard. I quit having such an innocence and naive and sweetness with the Lord. It was horrible, but I'm that way again. I'll be like, what should I wear today? What should we, I ask him about everything. And you want to know what he does? He does engage with me. Hi. He does engage with me on everything. He does. As much as I'll bring him in, he'll talk. And I just encourage you to do that. Okay, I'm going to give you an example. Today, after guitar, my son and I were driving, and I saw a new place called Whole Pie. And I was like, and it said meat pies. Okay, now, I don't like meat pies in Australia. Sorry, Australians, I love you. And I love Australia. I've been there 3 times. I just didn't care for the meat pies there. But I do love a good shepherd's pot pie. I do love a good meat pie. Maybe I just didn't have the right one. But I just was over the yeast, whatever that stuff was. Vegemite. I was over the Vegemite. Because every time we went, we stayed for a month. And I was just over Vegemite and meat pies. I wanted to barf. I was like, I need to go now. Back to my country. But I do love Aussies. It's amazing. I'll go again. I would. Anyway, so we're driving down the road just today. Okay, I'm gonna tell you how God's in the detail. I'm already thinking he's out of guitar. God, what do you want us to have? What should I cook? What do I have at home? We're gonna have a nice lunch, and then got things to do today. And he points out at the corner of my eye. We almost drove by it. A new restaurant. It's more like, and it's called the Whole Pie, and it said like meat pies, and I was like, no way, because when I used to live in San Francisco, which is very close to where we live now, there was my favorite place, Tom's Shepherd's Pie, or somebody's, I forget, Tom's Peasant Pies, And they were so good, so healthy, organic, and all that. Okay, next vid.